It's officially over. The Fire TV that you once knew, the one that you could customize, jailbreak, and sideload your favorite apps on, is officially done. We've reached an end of an era. Let's go and dive into why. So what happened? The Amazon Fire Stick has just released the Amazon 4K Select. I have it today. It came in the mail. I'm going to show it to you today. For the first time ever, it's not running Android. Instead, it's powered by something called Vega OS, a brand new system built on Linux that changes everything. On paper, it looks like an upgrade. 4K, HDR10+, Wi-Fi 5, all of the good stuff. But under the hood, Amazon quietly removed the one feature that power users loved most, sideloading. So what does that mean? That means no downloader, no Kodi, no file link, no custom APKs, all gone. Vega OS won't even recognize APK files anymore. So let's take a look at the specs really quick. So if we take a look at the specs, the Fire TV 4K Select already has the worst rating already on the Amazon App Store. If you compare them side to side, you can see there's no Dolby Vision, there is no Dolby Atmos, there is no 2 gigs of RAM, there's no Wi-Fi 6, the list can go on. Also, it says Xbox Game Pass and Amazon Luna are not officially on this device at all yet. We can confirm this if we go to the device. So I'm on my Amazon 4K Select device. The first thing we want to go ahead and do is just test a few things. I'm already in the settings, and if I come down to settings, I'm going to go down to My Fire TV. If I come down to My Fire TV, this is the About section. This is where we would normally see developer options, and we don't see any of that, which is expected because they've already told us this, but I did want to double check it. So if I click on About, you see Fire TV 4K Select. That's the options that we have. You can see software version is on OS 1.1. So this is brand new. We're starting with software version OS 1.1. So before, on the older Android-based Fire Sticks, we could always click on the name of the device 7 times. So if I click on that 7 times, you can see it does absolutely nothing. No matter how many times I click the button, there's no menu or prompt that comes up that says you've enabled developer options. So that's completely gone. So let's go ahead and take a look at the storage space. So if I go down and look at the storage space, right out of the box, we only have in total 4.61 gigabytes of storage space. And then you can see also that a partial amount of that is already taken up space, because we only have 3 gigs or a little bit less than 3 gigs available of storage space. It says 2.95 gigabits of storage space is available, and it's already taken up 1.66 gigs. So what happened to the 8 gigs? That's not even 8 gigs. That's less storage space. Of course, I'll probably test in a video to see if we can get some expanded storage space using an OTG cable, but that's in another video to come, and we'll definitely test that out. So once again, also straight out of the box, once we plug this thing up, it looks exactly like the Android-based Fire OS. And under the magnifying glass, if we search for some items here, basic items like downloader, you will not find downloader in this Vega OS at all. I was hoping we would at least get that, because we can kind of work with some things. We may be possibly able to jailbreak it. I'm pretty sure someone along the lines will eventually jailbreak this, but as of right now, straight out of the box, if we go down here and select the second search result and click on downloader, it loads. There's no downloader in sight. If we go back, if we look for some of the other apps that were familiar to us, like if I type in ES File Explorer, these are the search results, we get no ES File Explorer at all. There's just no apps that will allow us to download any third-party content. And even if we did have the ability to, this device will not download any Android-based APKs or any APKs at all, because Vega OS is run on Linux, and Android is the only operating system that can allow APKs, or will allow you to install APKs. So even though it did say in the specs that Luna and Xbox is not available, I did want to go ahead and check it. I put in here Xbox. These are the search results. Xbox does come up, but once I click on it, you can see it already says unavailable. And if I try to click on it, it just does nothing. If I go back here and type in Luna, as I type in Luna and click on Luna, you will see there are no search results for Luna either. If I go to the home button again, this is basically just a Roku device in a sense, and I only say that because all you have left, once you strip out the side loading features, there's no Kodi, there's no nothing on this device. Basically, you're just left with all the mainstream applications that you would find on a Roku device. And which apps do I mean when I say Roku? If I go down to the free section, these are the apps that I'm referring to. You're going to see Tubi, Pluto, CW, just the basic apps that you would normally find. If we go over to the Find section and go to the App Store and come down here, you will see these are the only apps that you really have access to, which is Sling, ESPN, DirecTV, HBO Max, Hulu, Disney Plus, NFL, just the main big box applications. Those are the only ones that you're going to find. So with all this being said, I would definitely not recommend you to use any Fire TV device moving forward that has Vega OS installed on it. They did release that the TVs are going to remain Android based for now, and this device is the only device that has the Vega OS on it, but eventually every device that's going to be coming out from here on out is going to carry this Vega OS most likely. Also, if you go to Amazon's website and try to purchase some of the other older devices, they do have Android based still running on it as of now, but most likely in 2026 or somewhere in the near future, most of those devices are all going to be replaced with Vega OS. So what happens with the older devices that we all have, the older 4K Fire Sticks and the older Fire TV Cubes and all the other older devices, most likely those devices are not going to be updated to the Vega OS because they essentially have Android based hardware on them, and you can't just update that. You would have to replace the entire hardware, and that would be a huge update for Amazon to do if they just updated and pushed the Vega OS on everybody. They would lose a lot of customers, and essentially all the customers that they have, most of them side load applications, at least majority of the power users. And I feel like when Amazon first came out, when most of us created our YouTube channels about Amazon Fire TV, it was mainly because you could side load it and jailbreak it and do all types of customizations to your Amazon Fire TV device. Now that is no longer welcome. Most people will branch out to other devices, just strictly Android boxes or the Walmart One boxes or Nvidia Shields or Apple TV. If I'm going to recommend any device, I would just recommend you get the Walmart One 4K boxes because they're the cheapest. Also, on the Amazon website, you will see that they have the Fire TV 4K Select for $39.99, which is this device that you want to stay away from, far away from, unless you just strictly want to use, YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, all the mainstream apps that you would normally access anyways. Then they have the Fire TV Stick 4K Plus. They kind of made a plus and a select version so you know which one is carrying what. The select version is the one that's running the Vega OS. The plus version is the one that's still running the Fire TV Android based, the one that you can customize, jailbreak, and sideload. But eventually, once again, that we don't know how long that's going to stay, and that option is still available, but for $50, and it does carry 8 gigs, 2 gigs of RAM, and Wi-Fi 6. I will say, with using this device, I want to do a side-by-side comparison. I do notice that it is a little bit faster than my regular Fire Stick, even though it's running less RAM and less storage space. I do notice that it is a little bit faster, but that's most likely because there's nothing on this device. It's basically just an app. And that could be a good thing for some, or it could be a bad thing for others. For me, it's a bad thing because I like to sideload, customize, and have full control, whereas this device doesn't allow you to do any of that. And one sidebar about this device, that it says it's not available, but it is available, which is this Fire TV ambient experience. The ambient experience is the screensaver option that you get in the background when the device has gone to sleep. It'll show you a screensaver. You do have that option, so I did see that in the settings here under display and sounds. The ambient experience, it's turned on. That still doesn't change anything because it's just the ambient experience. But if I hold the home button down and click on ambient experience, it does open up. It does open up that ambient experience and gives you screensavers along with the time and the weather in the top left hand corner. So that's not enough to make people change over to this device, but it is a little bit of something. But definitely let me know what you think of this device. Definitely comment down below if you're going to be getting this or you would try it out. In my honest recommendation, I would recommend you stay away from this. You're kind of paying the same amount of money for a limited experience. So definitely let me know your thoughts down below. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.